environment. There's a quick thank you to our club. It's from Shelter Box Canada. The lady who's doing it is Allie Buck. She's our coordinator for Rotary right across the country. It's a thank you for a very generous $7,000 donation that we made recently. Thanks very much to Laura for somebody who's tech savvy to get this thing working.
It's nice to have members who are under 50.
Hi everybody at the Rotary Club of Kenora, from all of us at Shelter Box Canada and from all of those around the world that we serve. Thank you so much for your continued dedication to ensuring that no one is left without shelter after disaster. Your second gift of $7,000 is going to make an incredible difference on the impact that you've already had on Giving Tuesday. We are so grateful for everything you do and the support that you show us all year long. Every year, more and more people are displaced than ever before with nowhere to go. Shelter Box makes an incredible difference, giving people a home and the ability to rebuild. But that's just not possible without each and every one of you. You are the ones transforming lives all over the world. Thank you so much.
You can just close it on.
Okay. Just quickly, for those who may not have been here, I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. Shelter Box is in Gaza. We were in that long lineup at the Rafah crossing for weeks. We got aid in a couple of weeks ago, and there's lots more to come. We're working from Jordan and Egypt as well. So the money is going to, as everybody knows, incredible need in Gaza. And one other thing, and I also mentioned this, there's 11 deployments we have going around the world right now. 8 of them are in conflict zones, sadly. 8 conflict zones, but it's an indication that Shelter Box does not back away from very difficult situations where they're in need. So again, the gratitude of to our club is coming from Shelter Box and coming from the world. So thanks so much for all the support.
Thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to call upon Kelly to introduce our guest speaker today.
Okay, it's my pleasure to introduce Jason Petric. And Jason is here representing the Shake the Lake Committee. And he's had 2 decades of experience in the music and entertainment business. Some of you might be familiar with the band Petric. They were here playing at the Brew Pub, I believe, a few years back, and maybe some other things as well.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Great band from Winnipeg, but not any longer because Jason, he is now a Kenora resident. So he has multiple awards for his music across the world, specializing in stage production, event planning, and artist tour management and grant writing. So that's quite a list of skills. Jason's most recent venture is for nonprofit organization is the Kenora Entertainment Group, looking at hosting the first Shake the Lake event. Jason came to Kenora in 2016 with the award-winning Canadian country music Petric and performed at Artsfest. His band Petric most recently toured Australia. Sorry, where did I lose my way?
Now you're killing it.
This past winter, and has accumulated over 60 million streams worldwide. Jason also works at Kenora GM in his work life, so I'm going to call upon Jason to give us a few words.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. First of all, thank you for engaging our team and our in our efforts to try to do something great in Kenora. You guys clearly work on just in the 2 minutes of here. I hear that you guys are actively working on things to try and improve communities. I did move here back in 2017. 2018 was kind of when I made my move to Kenora. And I've always been involved with music. I want to start off by saying, Harborfest is the reason that I'm in this town, and they made it to 30 years, which is a really, really strong representation for something in this town, whether it's a fishing tournament or a music festival. I think to make it 30 years when a group of volunteers shows up to do something pretty incredible, and our team's looking to try and do the same thing right now. We are hoping to just get to year 2, but you never know, right? You got to start with your first time, and it's been really, really great. We kind of brought this idea to life last fall. I had been in talks with the city and some representations with Tourism Kenora in August. Once kind of Harborfest hit their 30th year, and I expressed interest in trying to do something new, trying to take my experience in the music business and entertainment business and restructure the event, what I hope is not only appealing to our community and our influx of tourists, but at the same time maybe a little bit more fiscally fundable. These events can be quite the budget. We're currently running a budget that I think we're going to end up being around $220,000 for our event for the weekend, which is a lot of money to either try and find and support in the community or sell tickets or find other ways to do, make that money back. So I feel we've hit every target since we first announced it in January. We've had ticket sale targets that we wanted to hit prior to March in our first 30 to 60 days. We had ticket sales that we wanted to hit prior to May long, and now we have a new goal that we need to try and hit before July long, with what I would consider, now as our last minute ticket buyers, which we were kind of joking about before, going into July. So every step of the way, our group has had targets. We have had goals. We've been trying really hard to build, rebuild, or rebrand some relationships in the community, and I think it's been very successful. This has been one that we really wanted to get, so we really do appreciate, you engaging with us. We really appreciate the support that you guys are willing to give. I really hope we can see you guys all down at some point throughout the weekend. It is not just a music festival. It is not just a concert. We are having a 3-night event, 3-day, 3-night event, with Friday being a free night. We are having a pong tournament. It is an age majority event. With a DJ and some beer gardens. It is a free event though. Saturday is our ticketed event where we're gonna have some, entertainment, ticketed entertainment that we hope that we can sell out. And then Sunday is another free community event, which will include vendor markets, food trucks, car shows, the wooden boat parade. We got a few other things in the works as well. So we're not completely reinventing the wheel, but one thing that we have been focused on is trying to just have one night that's ticketed, okay? Where all of our expenses come here. We are gonna really try and ask the community to support us and buy a ticket to our one event while offering the other nights where it's free of charge. So if you can't afford to come on Saturday, well, you're more than welcome to be part of our community on Friday or Sunday. This is a community event. We cannot do it without the support of the entire community. And we wanna make sure that, again, not everyone always has money. That's the reality of life. We want to make sure that you still feel like you have the opportunity to be part of our community throughout the weekend at some point. So that's our goals. I'm praying that we get to the finish line and our heads are above water. Your contribution helps. And it's kind of what I have to say. Has anyone got any questions?
I just want to say thank you very much for putting those free events in there. I remember when I first moved back to Kenora, I think you had to pay for the children's activities, and it just didn't seem fair.
Yeah, and you know what, our band, we've gone all around the world. We've been in different festivals. When I first drove around the harbor and saw Kenora, I instantly thought, ooh, this is special. Never thought I'd be moving here or hosting a venue there, but this is a very special community, and we've been to many different ones, and there are situations where you have to pay, an admission to just get into a fairgrounds or to do rides or something like that, and we have to cater to what we have to work with. I don't feel like previous events have had success asking people to pay 3 nights in a row and carrying the expenses for those events 3 nights in a row. So that was something I said, okay, well, how do we try get it to 1 while still offering something for people to come around? How do we offer something that is community friendly, that isn't necessarily, you know, if mom and dad want to take their kids down, how can we offer something that for them, while still kind of putting forward that, hey, I want to buy a ticket to a concert and let's go have a drink with my buddy and let's have a great night. So we're focused on trying to bring everything into one weekend and restructure that. We're guaranteed we're not going to be perfect. This is our first year. We're focused, and I do imagine if we do end up biting off year 2, which is our goal, there will be changes. But this is where our mindset's at. We do want to try and make sure that everyone feels that they can come down and take part of this. We want to see thousands of people along our harbor front there. We want to see, you know, a influx of positivity and positive activities in our downtown district. I don't think there's a more beautiful place to spend the August long weekend than Kenora, so we're really going to try and be part of that positive experience for our community and our tourists that come through. Yes.
So as it's your first year and you have, you know, new members involved with organizing, is there a need for more volunteers?
Always.
You know, we're a smaller club,
Yep.
but there may be people who are interested in
And you have my email, and I'll say this right here. We'll probably post something online, but I personally, we do need volunteers. We want good people. I don't want to that's why I'm hesitant to just throw it out kind of on the internet and get a slew of randoms email me that maybe never email back afterwards. But if you want to be part of this thing, it's our event. It's Kenora's. It's not mine. It's not our little team here. Our team, I think, has 8 or 9 people here. You know, there are obviously some areas where, you know, we've kind of tried to find bartenders to work on the bar, people who have had experience maybe working, not necessarily security, but ticket scanning before. There's lots of areas where we can use an extra hand. So if anyone wants to come down, we'd really appreciate it. You got my email, reach out. I think we're a pretty friendly group of people. We'll be relatively easy to work with.
So if it's okay with you, as the community services director, I could send out an email with your email
Sure.
in it saying, and then I don't want to be the middle person. If people are interested, they just get.
No, absolutely. And I'll put this out there, again, we're trying to figure out how this is going to work for our first year. I don't anticipate our Friday is going to be as crazy as Saturday. There's no way it's going to be as crazy. Same thing with Sunday. But the people who might want to volunteer on Saturday might not be available the other days. So as we get closer to the date, we are just trying to find people who may be interested in saying, hey, I'd like to come, and if you need help for an afternoon, I'm in. I don't want to count, like, now is probably the time to start getting prepared, because if I was writing people's names down in January for volunteering, I'd probably be crossing it off and writing it back and crossing it off all the way till July. So we're getting close to that time. If anyone does want to volunteer, please reach out to me. We'd be happy to figure out something that would work for you. Yes.
Well, I was on Harborfest executive and committee for a number of years, so I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
I actually got off the committee because there was so much risk involved. So I'm just kind of curious, at your very first event, what if you have a loss? And what if it's a significant loss? I mean, I don't want to be negative. I just want my risk management.
Yeah, so I asked myself that question at 7:00 a.m., noon, and 7:00 p.m. The reality is I do feel confident that we can get this thing very, very close. Regardless of how close, I don't think there's going to be a loss that we can't take care of. Okay, and that's about all I can say. Like, at the end of the day, I don't know what we're gonna do, because we'll have to handle that situation when it comes to. So I don't have a better answer. That's my most honest.
It's none of my business. You guys are a private committee. I'm just saying I've been in that situation.
Yeah.
As treasurer of Harborfest.
Yeah, it's awful. We're staring at, again, we're hoping, again, if all things come to, we have a goal of selling $100,000 of revenue in tickets. We had a goal of trying to raise about $100,000 in sponsorship or support dollars. And again, our tickets had goals. And then again, if we are fortunate enough between some food truck vendor applications, other vendor applications, and then alcohol beverage sales, we might be able to generate anywhere between another $30,000 to $40,000. Okay, our event, like I said, is we're probably spending close to 220 grand, but we are on target we've hit every target so far. So I don't know what's going to happen on August 5th when all the dust settles. We do have a plan of how to address certain situations and certain bills, but we got to make this money back. At the end of the day, we're not here to make 100 grand and everyone's splitting it. This is a non-for-profit community event. I think we've budgeted this thing as tight as we can. We've been very we've stared at this and we've been smart. You know, we've gotten multiple quotes from people. We've had to turn quotes down that we didn't necessarily want because they did not fit into what I and our team felt was going to be, you know, the best for our event, which is ultimately what we feel is the best for our community. All we can do is be smart, be aware, and work hard to sell these tickets. If we sell another 500 tickets, which I think is very doable based on the fact that, you know, we're only a handful of weeks out here, you know, 2 months, and I think from what I've heard, Harborfest generally had anywhere between 300 and 500 tickets of walk-ups on those days at times. We should be fine. So.
Make sure you got Smart Serve for
all those, yep, so we got Morgan Seller, she works for Tourism Kenora, she's on our committee. So we've got some great people that are really helping guide this thing. We do have some previous people that have worked the bar in the past at Harborfest, so I still feel like my head's exploding every second time we meet and figuring out where we're going, but we've got a great team. It's a young group of people. They're ambitious. We're really close to making this a profitable event, and any profits that are made are we've already said, if there's a profit, it's going right back towards putting a band deposit for the next year. So we'd like to build this into an annual event, and that's our goal, and we're going to do everything we can to hit it. Yes?
Come up with the name.
I don't know. I honestly don't remember. I don't remember. I mean, it's been used 1,000 times, so it's not like I really was super creative on it, but it was something we all agreed on. We did kind of have a logo, and this is kind of how the idea sort of, I think, got pitched and bought by, you know, Morgan and some of our other team members here. I had this logo, I had this name. I said, hey, what do you think about rebranding this thing? Because I think Kenora needs something new to get excited about, because support for some of these other things wasn't there. So let's hope the support's there.
Okay, on behalf of the Rotary Club, I want to thank you, Jason, for coming.
Okay, thank you so much.
And we want to thank you not just for the presentation, but for taking on this very large job of running something.
Yeah.
You know, we do some things here that makes us worry at nights and wonder if it's going to happen the way we want it to. And it's on a much smaller scale than what you're doing. So I really appreciate
Oh, look at that. That's so cool.
Now, I just noticed that we only have one signature on this check. You have signatures. If you want to cash it, there has to be 2 signatures there. This is how we give out money. We don't do all the formalities. So our Community Services Committee decided to support this event with $1,000. We actually, I think, made about $500 of that back. I'm not sure, John, how much the tickets sold on our auction, but
Sweet.
we got 4 tickets to the Shake the Lake event, and we were able to auction them off at our online auction. So, you know, it's a partnership that, you know, we gained, you gain, and that's how things work. I'm going to invite any of the members of the Community Services Committee, like Ron, so that I'm not the only one up here. Lynn, Fred.
I love this. This is so cool.
So we have this big check so that our pictures are.
There we go.
You pitch it out.
There we go. Where we go. This is the fun one.
Push the button.
Thank you.
There you go.
And Jason has to run off,
Yeah.
but thanks a lot.
No, thank you so much.
Do this certificate here.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
What we do is we do a donation to the Rotary Foundation in honor of the Shake of the Life.
That's
Committee
awesome, guys.
for
That's
coming
awesome.
Here to present today. So
Thank you so
very
much. Thank you very much.
Now, just for some context, Sydney has some connection to Rotary. Do you want to tell everybody your connection to Rotary?
Laura Didell, it's my stepmom. She was a Rotarian a few years ago.
She sure was, and we miss her. Tell her that.
Okay.
She can come back anytime.
I didn't hear who that was.
Laura Didell.
Oh,
So, Sydney is here on behalf of the Lake of the Woods Arts Community. And actually, I'm going to give you the check, and then it would be really nice if you could give us a little bit of information about what you guys are planning this year for the Arts Festival. So the Arts Festival, for those of you on the committee, we approved this quite a long time ago, and now we have Sydney here accepting the check for $1,000. So Rotary's really present in the activities that are bringing people to our community this summer. So, you know, I think that's really kind of cool, and you know, it's activities that are open to everyone in our community, and so it does speak to enhancing the life of everyone in our community, which is, you know, people who can't always afford to go out and do things that cost money but can still be a part of our community. So on behalf of the Rotary Club, the Community Services Committee, here's a check for $1,000. Again, anyone, I don't want to be in pictures all the time. Come on.
Fred has to go this time.
Fred.
You get a-
Oh,
Well, if that's what keeps you up here or gets you down, then it
Turn
doesn't
the
matter.
lights down.
I'll take this big one, and then if you want to fill us in a little bit, Sydney.
Yeah, so LOAC hosts Artsfest every year. We did 2 years after the pandemic, and there was a little bit of a break with the pandemic. This is my first year as the events coordinator. We're really looking forward to it. It's a free event open to everyone, 2 days, running this year, July 20th and 21st on the grounds of the Muse. We have both exhibitors and performers, so we'll have a bunch of tents set up for local artists to come and sell their artwork, everything from painting, pottery, we probably have a graphic designer again this year, all sorts of different artwork. And then on the main stage, we have all different types of performances. We've got, you know, singers, bands. I think we might even have the Kenora Scottish pipers and drums on the band this year, or on the stage this year. We've also partnered with Kenora Chiefs Advisory this year to try and make it a little bit more Indigenous friendly this year. We really want to support and embrace Indigenous culture with our event this year. So on day one, on the Saturday, we'll be having a traditional opening. So drummers and singers, as well as opening remarks from an elder. And then on day two, we're going to be having an opening from the Scottish pipers and drummers. What else? We've got a fashion show from Nishtiva. They do Indigenous fashion, and they might actually be looking to expand it to different cultures this year. We're kind of working on the details with that. We've got events happening on the Muse, and then we've got some stuff in the museum and in the Muse building itself. But it's just 2 days of a lot of fun and arts. Kids Zone is kind of our big activity. It's just a tent for kids to come and learn all about different artistic crafts, arts, things. It's just a space for kids to come and unleash their inner arts and get messy, really, have fun, and let the parents, you know, do it not in their house. That's the best part. Take the crafts home. But yeah, so if you're around on July 20th and 21st on the Muse grounds, yeah, just right
Are
down.
you grandchildren?
Right.
We're all, many of us are in the grandchildren's
Oh yes,
stage.
it's the perfect event to bring your grandchildren or children and your grandchildren as well.
Many of us.
But yeah, and if you've got any questions, we've got a website, loac.ca, also a Facebook page that we post pretty regularly with event updates as well, or you can just send me an email. But yeah, July 20th and 21st. Thank you very, very much for your support. It's very, very appreciated. We're looking forward to a really great event. Hopefully some nice weather and
Yes.
hopefully, yeah.
Any questions for Sydney?
Sounds like a great event.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.